If you're on Social Security, major breaking news coming out in just the past hour, today, May 12th, 2025, as we are hearing that big, beautiful bill, it has just been released today, and I'm going to be covering the details for you, what it says about Social Security, what's included, what's not included. I'm going to be covering everything so that way you know exactly what is going on. But like I said, let's take a look at the latest headlines so you can see it for yourself. Coming out 1 hour ago, the big, beautiful tax bill. It contains popular breaks for tips. That was one of the things people were waiting for. Here is the actual bill. I'm going to be covering a little bit for you what is in here, and you can see it says amendment in the nature of a substitute to the committee print providing for reconciliation offered by Mr. Smith of Missouri, and it is literally called the One Big Beautiful Bill. And if I go into the search right here, you can see Social Security comes up 78 times throughout the course of this bill. We're going to be covering the details for you. Also, take a look. May 12th, 2025, the One Big Beautiful Bill delivers on President Trump's priorities to restore and expand Trump-era growth and relief for families, workers, and small businesses. Take a look. House GOP. This is the House version of this big, beautiful bill. Now, this still could be changing, but this House version says it reveals Trump's tax breaks for tips, overtime, car loans, but the costs could run high. We're also going to be covering who actually benefits from the tax legislation so far, Social Security. I'm going to be covering all the details for you while we are on here live May 12th, 2025, as this has just come out in about the past hour or so. So we're going to dive right in, and if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything, the latest breaking news coming out, do me a favor, take a quick second before we dive in and hit that like button. Now, if you want to stay up to date as this bill evolves, we got the first draft here. So just to clarify, this is the first release of this bill from the House. This could change. We could see modifications take place as the Republicans negotiate this bill through the process of reconciliation. But I will keep you up to date. And to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell. In addition to that, if you'd like to read this bill for yourself, I'm going to have it hyperlinked in the description down below. Actually, it's a PDF, so you might have to copy the URL, paste it in. But the articles, you can go ahead and click the hyperlinks, go see it for yourself. Try to hold myself to the highest level of accountability here on the channel so that way people can know and rest assured that this is the latest information. And I see Desmond Brown saying, smash that like button, y'all. Yes, please, if you could do so. That simple gesture just takes a second. Really helps out the channel a ton. I would appreciate it. Thank you for that so much. Now, in addition to that, wanted to mention, if you or somebody you love is on Medicare, this is very important. Just the other week, the Department of Justice filed a massive fraud complaint against 3 of the largest Medicare brokers in the country. According to the Department of Justice, these brokers have misled seniors claiming to offer unbiased help while secretly steering them to insurance plans that pay the highest kickbacks. Now, I wanted to mention this because I know a lot of people on my channel are on Medicare and feel like maybe they're getting ripped off. If you are suspecting that, chances are you probably are, after what we have discovered that has come out with the DOJ. Now, they have been steering people not to the best plan for them, not to the right plans, just to the most profitable for these brokerages. It's infuriating, but sadly, it's not surprising. And that's why I'm recommending Chapter. I've partnered up with Chapter. Chapter is different. This company was founded because their own parents, the people who created this, were scammed, and they vowed to fix the system. They're fully independent, and they are the only national advisors that search every Medicare plan available to find the one that actually fits your needs. So they advocate for you, not the insurance company. There's no steering, no pressure, just ethical, honest help at no cost to you. That's right. This is totally free. So we're going to dive into the big, beautiful bill here in just a second, but I wanted to mention this is free to my viewers. And if you are somebody that is thinking, hey, I'd like to just maybe see if I've got the best plan, maybe they'll let you know, or maybe they'll let you know, hey, we could save you $1,000 which is the average amount that they save people, you might just call the number on the screen because it's totally free. So if you want help with your Medicare, give Chapter a call. The number is on the screen, 984-375-0879. I'm also going to pin it down below for you as well. And you can talk to a real person when you call. They're going to help you figure out exactly which plan is right for you. So Chapter has saved the average senior that calls $1,000 a year. And like I said, this is a free resource to my audience. So I'm going to be pasting this down below for you. Call Chapter today, and thank you for sponsoring this video, Chapter. I appreciate you making that available to our viewing audience today. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the details of the big, beautiful bill and what it has to say, what it doesn't say, what's included, what's not. So that way you know, with the breaking news coming out today, May 12th, 2025, let's go ahead and get right to it. So let's start off with this one coming out an hour ago. Big, beautiful tax bill contains popular break for tips. Now, let's see here. Let's scroll down in this article and cover some of the details. The popular no tax on tips provision and another carve-out for overtime pay are both in the big, beautiful tax bill unveiled by the House Republicans on Monday. So this just came out. This is from the House. Again, this could be changing. So we're going to be seeing if there's any last-minute revisions. But this is the first version with details that we are seeing. Now, why it matters. Exempting tips from income and overtiming from tax was a big priority for President Trump, who campaigned on the policies. Now, the bill is 389 pages, so we're still kind of going through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure we get all the details. It was released this afternoon and is expected to kick off a marathon of negotiations over tax breaks and spending cuts within the GOP. Now, per the text of the bill, any cash tips received by any individual in an occupation that traditionally and customarily received tips would be eligible for the no tax provision. Such language would presumably prevent higher paid professionals from somehow classifying regular income as fees. Think accountants, lawyers, and others who charge fees for services. These tax breaks would start in 2025 and expire after 2028 and can be claimed by independent contractors like Uber drivers, per the Wall Street Journal. Now, Social Security. The bill does not include a tax exemption for Social Security income, but instead, Americans age 65 and older who don't itemize get a $4,000 bonus tacked on to their standard deductions. So that's going to be $4,000, I guess, going towards seniors as opposed to getting rid of the tax deductions. And that actually might benefit more people, as you know, because only 40% of those collecting Social Security get taxed. So this could be maybe a good trade-off. Now, as we get into the details of the bill, I'll be sure to break this down for you even further. But let's see what else it says here. It says the benefit is for individuals earning less than $75,000 a year and $150,000 for couples. So this is going to significantly impact a lot of people. So for those that thought that they were not going to be included because they were not getting hit by those taxes, well, it looks like you might actually get a $4,000 tax credit going towards you. So this is a change. We did not see this coming. There was no reports on this provision coming out. Now we're hearing that it has switched up. Social Security could be getting a $4,000 boost on the taxes, a deduction. Now it says, zoom out. The breaks are a key part of the president and Republicans' efforts to appeal to more working class voters. And so that is the main thing here, is that this is going to be helping some of those who are in the most need. So this provision is changing for Social Security. So $4,000. So let me know your thoughts. Do you like the sound of that if you collect Social Security? If yes, put yes. If no, put no. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that we should have stuck with just getting rid of the tax on Social Security, or do you like the sound of this $4,000 credit going towards Social Security? Yes, you like it. No, you don't. Let me know your thoughts. And while you're dropping those yeses and nos, don't forget, take a quick second, hit that like button for me. Yes, but overall, the draft benefits wealthier Americans, keeping in place all of the cuts of the 2017 tax bill and adding some new goodies too, like an increase in the tax break for pass-through income. Now, the bill would raise the cap on the SALT deduction to $30,000, largely benefiting higher income homeowners in the wealthy blue state suburbs. Lawmakers will debate the bill Tuesday afternoon, so this bill is going to be taken up for debate tomorrow afternoon. So there you have it, you guys. That is some of the information that we have on this bill from Axios. Now, let's also take a look at this coming out. Now, this is from the Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith in a press release that has just come out. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. You can see the date on this is May 12th, 2025. Like I said, this was just released today. This is breaking news. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, it says on Tuesday, the Ways and Means Committee will mark up the One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering on President Trump's economic agenda and supporting pro-family, pro-worker tax provisions. The legislation builds on the success of the 2017 Trump tax cuts and carries out the very policies that Americans voted for, making the economy stronger, expanding tax relief for middle-class and low-income Americans, and ushering in a new golden age of prosperity to benefit workers, families, farmers, and small businesses. Now, this bill delivers on what Americans voted for with President Trump's promise to put America first, with tax policies that reward hard work, bring jobs back home, increase opportunity, and rebuild the economy for the working class. It puts the interests of low-income working families ahead of the wealthy by expanding tax relief for those who need it the most, including the president's priorities of no tax on tips and overtime pay and additional relief for American seniors, and that is at $4,000. Now, small businesses and family farmers will benefit from the certainty provided so they can invest in their futures and grow jobs. Now, under the economic policy of President Biden and Washington Democrats, the wealthy and well-connected benefited from taxpayer handouts. The Ways and Means Republican tax bill ends special interest giveaways and will hold the woke elite and entities that benefit from the tax code accountable. It will halt the flow of taxpayer dollars to illegal immigrants and to China. We have an opportunity and a responsibility to secure a brighter future for America's workers, families, farmers, and small businesses. The legislation that the Ways and Means Committee has brought forward meets this historical moment, says the Ways and Means Chairman Jason Smith. Now, delivering an economy that works for working families, pro-growth, pro-worker, pro-family, pro-small business policies that will make America's economy stronger, deliver additional tax relief for working families, farmers, and small businesses, and replace bad tax policy with good tax policy. Make American families and workers thrive again. It makes the 2017 tax cuts permanent, protecting the average taxpayer from a 22% tax hike. Saves the average American family $1,700, the equivalent of 9 weeks of groceries. Increasing real annual take-home pay for a median income household with 2 children by roughly $4,000 to $5,000, raising annual real wages by $2,100 to $3,300 per worker. It delivers on President Trump's priorities of no tax on tips, overtime pay, and car loan interest, and provides additional tax relief for seniors. Locks in and boosts the doubled child tax credit for more than 40 million Americans. So the child tax credit as well is getting a boost and provides additional tax relief for American families. It preserves and increases the doubled guaranteed deduction for 91% of all taxpayers. It expands 529 education savings accounts to empower American families and students to choose the education that best fits their needs, whether it is K-12 material or obtaining a post-secondary trades credential. It supports working families by expanding access to childcare and making permanent the paid leave tax credit. It puts American families in control of their health care by expanding health savings accounts or HSA accounts and cementing into law a Trump administration policy that offers more choice and flexibility for health coverage options. Starts building financial security for Americans' children at birth with the creation of new savings accounts. Now, also, make rural America and Main Street grow again. It expands and makes permanent the 199A small business deduction to 23%, creating over 1 million new Main Street small business jobs and generating $750 billion in economic growth at American small businesses. It renews 100% immediate expensing, incentive for research and development in the United States, and deduction for interest expenses, and supports the expansion of new production factories and growing operations in America by allowing 100% expensing for new factories, improvements to existing factories, and other production facilities. It stops the Democrats' attack on the gig economy by repealing the 1099K gig worker rule that would have required Venmo, PayPal, and gig transactions over $600 to be reported to the IRS. It reduces paperwork burden for small businesses and workers by increasing the 1099 MISC threshold to $2,000, makes permanent and increases the double death tax exemption for 2 million family-owned farms, renews Opportunity Zone programs to spur over $100 billion in new investment over the coming decade, with enhancements to target rural distressed communities, estimated to boost the level of short-run real gross domestic product, or GDP, by 3.3 to 3.8%, and long-run real GDP by 2.6 to 3.2%. $284 billion of new economic growth for American manufacturers, secures 6 million jobs for American workers, makes America win again. It holds woke elite universities that operate more like major corporations and other tax-exempt entities accountable, ensuring that they can no longer abuse generous benefits provided through the tax codes, increases the university endowment tax and subjects the largest endowment to the corporate tax rate, increases tax on massive nonprofits that resembles hedge funds and pay their employee huge salaries, ends $500 billion in Biden-era tax breaks and special interest giveaways to the wealthy, big corporations, and China, eliminates special interest tax breaks for billionaires' sports team owners, prevents taxpayer benefits from going to illegal immigrants by securing or requiring a Social Security number for individuals claiming tax credits and deductions, ending illegal immigrant eligibility for Obamacare premium tax credits and Medicare, and applying new fees on remittance payments for illegal immigrants to outside the U.S. And if you collect Social Security and you like the sound of that, don't forget, put yes in the comments and hit that like button. He said, preventing taxpayer benefits from going to illegal immigrants. So there you have it. That is a breakdown from the United States House Committee on Ways and Means, Chairman Jason Smith, on the One Big Beautiful Bill. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And again, let me know if you like the sound of the modification that we're hearing to the bill. Now, originally we had heard that Social Security was going to have no tax. They were going to eliminate the tax that is placed on those that collect Social Security and go past certain thresholds of income annually. Well, now we're hearing that that is not the case. That was not in the bill. And actually what is in the bill is a $4,000 tax credit for Social Security. There is an additional exemption of which you can collect. Now, what are the details of that? What's all in the bill? Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we can find here. Now, as you guys know, I mentioned I have here the actual bill, and I just typed in Social Security. Now, here's the part where it says Social Security number required. So this is where they are saying that you cannot get Social Security if you are an illegal immigrant. Now, let's go ahead and go down and see if we can find the part where it talks about $4,000 of a credit going towards taxes for those collecting Social Security. Let me scroll up here, see if I can find this in the bill. Probably what I can do, which might be faster, is if I just do $4,000. There it is. All right, let's take a look at this. Bonus additional amount for seniors. In general, in the case of any taxable year beginning after December 31st of 2024 and before January 1st of 2029. Okay, so this would actually be applied probably retroactively. So you might actually, since this is December 31st of 2024 and we're in May 12th of 2025, this could be applied retroactively for the year. So it's not something that's going to come that you would do in 2026. It will be applied to this year. So when you file your taxes, it would be fully done for 2025. And before January 1st of 2029, the dollar amount in effect under paragraph shall be increased by $4,000. Limitation based on modified adjusted gross income. In the case of any taxpayer for any taxable year, the $4,000 amount in subparagraph shall be reduced, but not below zero, by 4% of so much of the taxpayer modified adjusted gross income that exceeds $75,000 a year or $150,000 for couples filing jointly. So if you are an individual and you make less than $75,000 a year and you collect Social Security, you would get this $4,000 credit towards your taxes and deductions. If you make $150,000 a year or less as a couple filing jointly, well, then you would also get this full $4,000. Now, once you exceed that, it says past a certain amount, then you would go ahead and have that amount deducted by 4%. So there you have it, you guys. And again, let me know your thoughts. Do you like the sound of that? This is likely going to be impacting a whole lot more seniors than we had anticipated. We thought only about 40% were going to get some sort of positive impact as a result of this bill. Well, it looks like it's going to be a whole lot more than that. Now, I don't know the exact numbers, but I think that the majority of people collecting Social Security make less than $75,000 a year, and couples collecting Social Security, I think a lot of them make a whole lot less than $150,000 a year. So let me know your thoughts. Are you glad to hear this? They switched it up. There was no reports prior to this that I had heard of this provision being included in the bill, and now we're hearing, well, there it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But this is huge news just coming out. Breaking news, the bill has been released. And as more details come out on it, I'll be sure to let you know. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, we have heard that the tax breaks for tips and overtime and car loans is also included as well. Here's another article coming out from the Associated Press on this. And it says House Republicans propose sweeping tax breaks Monday in President Donald Trump's big priority bill, tallying at least $4.9 trillion in costs so far, partly paid for with cuts to Medicaid and green energy programs used by millions of Americans. The House Ways and Means Committee named its package the One Big Beautiful Bill in all capital letters, a nod to Trump himself. It seeks to extend the tax breaks approved by Trump during his first term and boost the standard deduction, child tax credits, and estate tax exemptions, while adding new tax breaks on tips, wages, overtime pay, Social Security benefits, and auto loans that Trump promised during his campaign for the White House. So there you have it. And here's another one coming out 13 hours ago. So this actually came out earlier this morning. Who benefits from the tax legislation so far? So much for taxing the rich. House Republicans late Sunday unveiled $880 billion in Medicaid cuts and cost-saving centers of their hotly anticipated tax legislation. That follows a preliminary partial draft released earlier in the weekend from the House committee that oversees the taxes with the cuts. Okay, so actually, let's not look at this one because this is referencing a smaller modified sneak peek version that had come out. And now we have the actual legislation that we're looking at. So we've got all the details and everything that we need right here. And we got the updates that Social Security is getting $4,000 of a deduction credit on taxation for anybody making less than $75,000 a year or couples making less than $150,000 a year. So, man, huge news coming out. And I see those yeses pouring in, people saying they are glad to see this. I was wondering, like, if people were going to be concerned that they didn't have the no taxation included, but instead they swapped that out and they put this. And I think this is going to make a lot of people collecting Social Security very happy because this is going to impact a whole lot more than just half, in my personal opinion. And again, let me know your thoughts. Are you glad to see this? If so, put yes. If no, put no. And hit that like button if you appreciate the updates. I see Eddie putting no. Eddie is not glad to see that there is this $4,000 credit going towards seniors' taxes. Probably maybe preferred to have the no taxation. I see Diosdata Valera saying yes, very glad. I've been seeing a whole lot of yeses and a couple of no's. And don't forget, while you do that, hit that like button for me. Help spread this out further across the YouTube platform. Share it out so that way more people can see the latest. But you guys, that is that is what has come out today. Now, again, just to clarify, this is the first draft that we've seen that has come out from the House, from the Ways Means Committee. This is going to be negotiated tomorrow. So they're going to be going through the details of this. We're going to see if this is going to change. Maybe they'll switch some of the provisions out. They'll put other provisions in. So just to clarify, this is not final. This is just the very first detailed draft that we have seen so far. And as it continues to modify and change, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel so you know exactly what is going on. So in 24 hours, we could hear that this could be entirely different. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date so that way you know exactly what is going on. And like I said, these articles hyperlinked down in the description. I cite all the sources. All of this has come out today as this bill was just released this afternoon with the details. And we're going to be seeing where we go from here. So again, if you appreciate it, hit the like button, subscribe to stay up to date. It is totally free. Why not? I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And as I mentioned, if you're somebody that collects Medicare, you might want to go ahead and call Chapter. It's totally free. If you call the number on the screen, I'll also pin this in the comments for you. As take a look, the United States files False Claims Act complaint against 3 national health insurance companies, 3 brokerages. They have done. They're alleging they were unlawful, getting kickbacks and discriminating against disabled Americans. So if you feel like you've been getting ripped off on your Medicare, you might be right, is what we're hearing coming out from the Office of Public Affairs. And if you give my friends at Chapter a call, it's totally free. You'll speak to a real person. They'll let you know whether or not there is a better plan out there for you. They might confirm what you got is right, or they might say, hey, we could save you $1,000 a year, which is the average that they save those that call in and have them help switch plans. So give them a call if you want. I don't see why not. It's totally free, and see if they can help you out. But you guys, that is the latest. I will keep you up to speed on everything as more comes out. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.